Alright folks, welcome to our, I can't really say weekly updates because I've not been real good at doing the weekly updates lately, but welcome to Spirit's update. 1 second, I'm going to close the door behind me. This is I have to say, a pretty exciting update. There's a lot that's been going on, and yeah, everything's looking really good. Boat's looking fantastic. I'll go over what we've been up to over the last sort of week, or probably not even that, sort of 5 days since I did the last one. But anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm doing this update now. This is Sunday afternoon, and I'm going to do this update, but I'm not going to release it till probably Tuesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, because tomorrow we come out of the shed. We're out of the shed. Man, you got no idea how good that feels. Yeah, there has been so many times over the last 4.5 months where I felt like we're never going to leave this shed. And, there's days, you have up and down days. We're a human. We're like everyone else. You have good and bad days. And, there's just some days where you just feel like you're never going to break free. But tomorrow we are out of here. Anyway, let's go through what we've been up to. You can see the van's gone. So my dad and my brother-in-law came down this morning. We had breakfast and they took the van, which is unreal. It's been sitting right there for 4 months. So it feels like, the next step is happening. It's real. It's really happening. And, we've been just, the pace of work has definitely slowed down a little bit, which has been really good because it's just been so hectic. The last 4 months have really been hectic. And so now it's like a little bit of breathing room. We've got time to slow down a bit, and it's really nice. Anyway, Danny has been working on the hard top for the cockpit. He's got one side of it all fair. The bottom, or the top, which is the bottom at the moment, is all faired. And he's working on the underside at the moment. This is the underside. So just got to sand that back and fair the underside, which won't take long. It'll be a lot easier to fair this side, and then we'll do some gloss. What we're going to do is gloss around the edges. The underneath will be the low sheen Altex, which is really nice because it doesn't give you the bright reflection when you're in the sun during the day and you've got the sun reflecting off the water, and you've got a gloss white top above you. You get a lot of reflection off that, so that's why we opt for the low sheen, less reflection. And then on the other side, on the top side, we will have the same grey non-skid, which is the International Perfection non-skid that we're doing, and then around the edge here we'll have gloss. And the reason being is, it was a good point. Danny was mentioning it to me today. It's something I hadn't thought about, but dirty hands. People will be grabbing this area quite a bit for stability and to pull yourself in and out of the cockpit. And the gloss is a lot easier to clean than the low sheen. So there will be a gloss band around this edge, and also on the top where the gutter is, if you get water sitting there, it gets a little dirty. So it's a lot easier to clean the gloss, so that's what we'll be doing. You see, we've cleaned the shed up quite a lot. A lot of cleaning been going on. Boot topping is no longer dodgy blue. It's now this beautiful black boot topping, which just really sets the boat off. You got to admit, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it really, when they did that Friday afternoon, and it really set the boat off. It's just pretty, it looks really nice. Really, really nice. You can see, I don't know if you can tell with the paint, but you can see, where we did the spray on the bow. It didn't turn out that great, but I'm hoping when we do a bit of polish, we can polish it in a little bit. But yeah, but still looking really neat and tidy. But anyway, in a couple of years, we will paint the top sides up in Asia when we're up there. So we're not too phased about it. As I've said in many videos, this was more about making sure the boat's structurally sound and not looking pretty. But, you know, the boot topping and things like that, just really neaten it up. Got the board up. You can see the board's partly up at the moment. And I was doing a fair bit of work on the board. The boys have been in. They were honing out on Friday. The shaft is going to go in tomorrow morning. So they glued the bearing in here, and they've been honing out here and getting the bearing ready to put in when they put the shaft in tomorrow. So the plan is I'll lift the boat tomorrow at about 2 o'clock. We will get the rudder, put the rudder in when they lift the boat, and hopefully the shaft will be in before that. We've got a few consumables that are left over here. A lot of that will go to anything that's any good we will keep, and anything else will just be binned. You can see most of the stuff's on board now. Just got the outboard and the esky and the sails and that over there, which I'll put on board tomorrow. And then we've got some lines, some of our old sheets and halyards here from the old rig, ready to go on board as well. Let's go and have a little look upstairs, what's been going on up here. So really just been moving on, cleaning the van and moving on board these last few days. But you can see all the hatches are down and the hatch covers are on. That's come up really nice. These hatch covers are really nice. They're from a company called Ocean South, and they're really reasonable. They're anywhere between sort of $20, $30, but really worthwhile having. If you've got hatches on your boat, I highly recommend having covers for them, because it keeps the sun off your hatches and just stops them crazing and cracking, and also helps with any scratching or anything like that. You can see them all on there, and the hatches have all been bedded down. My father came down and gave us a hand for a couple of days last week, and we put seals, new seals on the bottom of these hatches, and re-bolted these down. And you can see penetrations through the deck here, which obviously not happy about, but in the future the plan is to redo this area and to make a low profile hatch, and at the same time to redo the solar panels. So that'll be in refit refit number 3 really. This is the second refit. It was a refit in Costa Rica when we bought the boat, and the refit now, and there'll definitely be one in the future. But man, she's just looking beautiful. Really happy with the way the black is working out with the grey. It's looking super nice. Replacing the spin outs as well. Yeah, I'll just put new spin outs down here. These are a little bit better quality than the other ones that we had, so we'll put them down. A little bit better seal on them. Hopefully keep moisture out of those forward voids. Got the helm back. They made a new keyway up here, and yeah, I've got to just bolt that down and then run the new steering cables and the chain over the top of the steering there and out the back. Been organising tools, and these are the 2 plastic boxes that we'll keep on board. One of these has got a fiberglass repair kit in it, so where I keep some epoxy, some QCell, and some carbon and some biaxial cloth, just in case there's any small repairs. You know, if we ever get hold, or if another boat out there needs some assistance and some help, we've got some basic spares and tools that we keep on board. we definitely keep minimal. We just don't have the storage on board to keep a lot of stuff. And not only that, but you end up with so much stuff on your boat that you don't know what you've got. And then it sits there and the old tins rust in the bilge. And yeah, so we prefer to keep as little as we can on the boat. And really just emergency repair stuff. Worked really hard on the up and down lines for the board. You can see I've put this down now, and you can see all the Allen key heads. So that's been bedded down, and I used the fixed tech to do that and did what they said, put a massive big bead around there, gave it about half an hour, let it skin off, and then just drop the board down on top. Same with the end plate here. Ended up putting foam around the edge so that when I screwed it on, I didn't compress all of the fixed tech out the side. So we put foam around it, then I ran a big bead of fixed tech around it, and then screwed it on. And another thing that we did, I've been quite concerned because inside the case here, you can imagine fore and aft there's virtually like a fore and aft bulkhead that runs all the way from here, all the way back to that back bulkhead, and from here all the way back to the back bulkhead. So the board is realistically right under this floor, and the pivot pin for the board is around about here where the table leg is. So the board's here and it pivots down and up like that. And what happens is the up and down line, so the line to lift the board up runs down the bulkhead, through a turning block at the back, then it runs all the way up here, through a block here, and then back to the board. So when you want to pull the board up, you pull on that line, and that line runs out, around and down the board. So you pull that line and it pulls the board up. And then when you want to drop the board down, there's another line that attaches to the head of the board down here. So say the board's up, there's another line that's attached just here at the head of the board. So it goes up around the top of the board and then it runs to the turning block at the back. I know this all sounds very confusing. I hope I'm explaining it clearly. So you can imagine the head of the board's here and it's curved. So the line runs around the curve, over the top of the board and then down and around the rope loop that I've put in the board. So when you want the board to come down, you pull on that line which runs around the top and it pulls the board down. Yeah, so it uses the leverage of the length between the pin to the edge of the board, which is about 40 centimetres, which is not a huge amount of leverage. So there's quite a lot of force on these lines. And what happens is, between these two bulkheads, there's a little bit of, not movement, but there's a little gap at the top where the board is. The edge of the board's a little bit rolled. So if those lines fall off the board and down the side, there's a little fairing as well that comes down like this on either side to try and stop those lines falling down the side. But you can see in the past they have come off and they've fallen down the side and jammed. So what we did was we used really thick 14mm Dyneema. And I use Dyneema because it floats, and because all of this is full of water when we get launched. So I used a line that floats. It's very strong and it's of a large diameter, and then we wrapped it, we fed it through some plastic hose. So there's plastic hose. We're trying to make the diameter of the line really big so that it can't fall down the side. And I was pretty happy with the way it came up. So there's two lines that run back with plastic tube, and I'll try and put some pictures there. I think I took some pictures the other day. But yeah, so this will be just a bit of a trial. We can always put the boat on the beach if we have any problems, or we can always, in 6 months when we're back down here, 8 months or so, we can always haul the boat and change it. So this is really going to be trial and error, but I think that we've given it the best chance to work trouble-free. And anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've moved in. I'm living on board now, so you can see everything out of the van is up here, the Thermomix, and yeah, I've got food in the fridge. Fridge is working. Freezer's up here. The freezer's working. I'm getting the Victron and everything back up and running. You can see here, yeah, batteries are full. We're just doing we're just charging. We're doing an absorption at the moment, so full charge. And you can see here on our levels, we've got our tank gauges up and running again. So we've got diesel level and fresh water levels. And also all our temperature sensors are back up and running. A few of them had stopped working. Low battery, but you can see the fridge here is on 7. Freezer's on -15. 22 degrees outside at the moment with a 47% humidity. It's very dry here in the winter. And yeah, it's really nice. It's great to have all this back up and running. You can see we're drawing roughly around about 160 watts from the shore power at the moment. Yeah, and everything's just coming together really well. So pretty happy. I've been testing out the lights in these positions, and yeah, I'm really happy with the way these lights work. They're super nice. I've put a switch here for this one. This one on starboard's fitted. And the nice thing is these are 24 volts, so I just wired them straight into the boat. But the good thing about this switch is that, yeah, you've got it as soon as you walk into the cabin, there's a little switch just on the starboard side that you can press, or you can use the phone to control the lights, and you can set different modes, which is what I really like about these lights. They're all 24 volt and they use around about an amp. Yeah, I've tested the power consumption. It's around about 1 to 1.2 amps, depending upon how bright you're obviously got them. But the nice thing is you can have different modes. So I've just been playing around with them, and I've got like a on passage mode. So you set the mode, and even though they're individual lights, within the app, you can control them all. You can control one. You can set it up how you want. It's unreal. So for an on passage mode, I've just got this little floor light down here, and it dims and it goes red, and all the other lights turn off. I have a max on where all the lights go white and they go onto maximum brightness. And then I have just a night mode, which is like this, where they all turn on, but they're a little bit, I don't think you can really see the colour at the moment, but they're a nice orange. And just a softer light, you know, not that really harsh white LED light, which is really cool. Yeah, I'll turn the water on just so anyone can hear. Yeah, that water pump is, yeah, a lot quieter. I don't know if you can hear it just running under the floor there. Yeah. Full pump's working. Yeah, I'm living up here. I'm living in the forward area. You can see I've got a heater going there. And yeah, there we go. So I've been sleeping here on the port side. And just because it's much easier to keep this area warm at night. And we've plumbed in the forward head, which is fantastic. Yeah, so we're really getting there. And very exciting to think that tomorrow we are going to be out of this shed. So I'll put some video of the boat leaving the shed tomorrow. And yeah, by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we should be parked over there somewhere. And then it'll be really wiring up the rest of the engine. I'm just waiting for them to put the shaft in. Once they've got the shaft in, I just wanted to give them the maximum amount of room that I could in the engine room. So I didn't put the exhaust or anything in yet. Once they've got the shaft in, then I'll put the exhaust in. I'll wire the engine up. I also want to wire the engine into the NMEA backbone so that I get the instruments and alarms on the B&G, not just on the engine control. I find that the audible alarm on this is a little weak, so it'd be nice to have it on the B&G. And And then the steering has to go back together. I've got to put all the helm and everything back together. And some last minute wiring on the enemy A. I'll wire in these lights. Yeah, I've got to wire them in. But you can see down here, this is the switch. So they come, yeah, there's the power adapters up here. So they're just running on the 240 at the moment. But all you got to do is cut this wire and then connect it to your 24 volt on the boat and you're good to go. Yeah, really super easy and a really nice easy way to go. You just cut the power adapter off and plug it into your 24 volt. How cool is that? All right, folks, I'll leave you with this little short and sweet update. And I hope, as always, really hope that everyone's just having a really great week, that everyone's well. Again, really appreciate your comments, appreciate everyone following along. Thank you very much. You guys are really awesome. And yeah, thanks to everyone that comes down and visits us. We really get a kick out of meeting you all. And yeah, just sending you all our best wishes and looking forward to sending you a video when we're out of the shed. Cheers for now, everyone. Take care and have a great week.